So welcome to another tutorial, unedited, hopefully straight to the point. And this is on Photoshop, and this is on the basics, tools, creating shapes, things like that in Photoshop. Again, we're not going to go over everything. We're just going to kind of start this. Let's make it a little bit bigger. As you know by now, the tools, I think again I am in the Essentials workspace, which is also the default. Okay, we're going to use the ellipse tool, also known as the circle tool, on this, and we simply do this. And there's little hints of what you do under here. And this template is courtesy of Udemy. Thank you, Udemy, which is a great resource. It is a paid resource of tutorials. Okay, so where is this, you may ask? And you would go right here. Pops up as a rectangle tool, but here is all the different tools that you can use. So ellipse tool is what we're working on, also known as the circle tool. Now, if you want to just, I think what I want to do is, I'm on the ellipse tool, and I click and drag. And you can kind of just get it kind of close by. This is a move tool, so I'm not going to move it over. If you want to kind of see if it lines up better, you would go into opacity here and bring down the opacity, and you can kind of see it fading. And even better, what I would do is absolutely go in here and change the color. I don't know about that color, but how about green? And you can go back and make sure that this is so. One little trick. Okay, it looks like I need to make it smaller, so I clicked on the little outer ring, and that should bring it down. So I can move it around and get it closer. And it doesn't have to be perfect for these exercises, as long as you. So basically, a very important thing to make sure that you, when you have select, that active layers are selected right there. So make sure that that is there. So what if we want to make a perfect circle? We go back down to the ellipse again, and we hit Shift while scaling. Okay, and it's the same color as before. I like to, let's see. Let's move it over. Move it over. And it's looking close. So made a circle, but what if it's not a perfect circle? Let's see. Okay, you want to make sure that you've gone to down here and gotten the path selection tool, not the direct selections tool. We're going to talk about that a little bit later, but the path selection tool for now. And you can again hit Shift and make it bigger, scale it down, and all of that, and move it around, and it looks like it. Oops, look at that. So you don't want to have to do this. So what has happened is both of these are on the same layer, and we can fix that. What I would say is easiest thing to do is just start. What is that? Okay, let's bring this back and make sure that this is correct. Let's do this. Let's do the long routes. This is the route that I like to do the most, and I just hit this, and I can even call this circle, and I want to do that. I want to hit Shift, and because I get more control if I have, see, it doesn't move the other one around. I want to make this bigger. I want to make sure that this is on the path selection tool. It is. Thank you very much. Hit shift again, and you can kind of, you know what, we can, alright. And then I want this to be blue maybe. And yeah, you can play around with the appearance. You can, but notice again that I have two different layers, and that gives you more power or more control over the layers. Alright, let's add strokes. Now you can actually start with the stroke. You can actually start with the same thing. I'll show you how to do that. I am going to, what am I going to do? I am going to add another layer, and I'm going to make this a stroke circle. Okay, and then, oh, cancel. I don't know what that is for. And I can start again with a ellipse tool. Do. And move it around. Oops. Oh, no. Careful. I'll use the move tool. And I want it to be a little bit bigger. It's still on that. And shift up. But there's a way of turning this into a stroke. And again, it is appearance, and you hit this non-stroke right there. Okay, but you want a stroke, and maybe you want the stroke to be thicker. You do that right here. It's a little too thick. You can write the number in here. Common, yeah, like say 4 or something. Not 42. Let's say just 4. That's 4 pixels. And what if you want the color to be different? I go to color wheel. It's over here. And I kind of want a red this time around. That sounds cool. Let's see if it worked. It did not. Let's try to do that again. Okay. Why did I do that? Oh, I know. I didn't click it. I clicked it now. Now that turned that red. But it needs to be thicker. You see how it needs to be thicker? If we're to do this correctly, let's bring it up even further. And bring this down even. And it's kind of close. Kind of close, kind of close. It's not perfect. That's my dog, Goldie. We have 2 of them. Let's call it a 16 stroke. 16. There's different reasons why you would want a stroke instead of a filled in circle. In order to copy this, my favorite way to do it is Option click and drag, which is I believe it's Alt click and drag for PCs, but for the Mac it's Option click and drag. Let's do another layer here. Dotted circle. I want to go to stroke circle, and you notice that when I went down to this layer, I selected it and I got it. So let's see if this works. Yeah, no. Stroke red. I said like 16. And this time, there's right next to this is a sub like menu, and you can kind of might need to make the stroke a little bit bigger. And then we want to turn it, and you can turn it by doing that. And see how it curves. See, appearance is a very, very important I would say it's even more important than the transform, but a very important menu screen. Okay, let's quickly do, this is mostly squares. You can pretty much figure that out with the rectangle tool. A new layer, per usual. It's a rectangle tool, also, and you hit shift to get a perfect square. What if I want, again, what if I want a stroke? Let's not do a stroke, let's just do the, change the color. Pull this corner in, it should make it all move in at the same time and smooth the corners down. There you go.